y'all. I'm Karen Morgan, and this is the Purple Bike Podcast. Hey, everybody. Are you ready for 1977? Oh, my God, y'all. It was a year of denim pantsuits, huge collars, feathered hair, sweater vests, and gaucho pants. Just an incredibly embarrassing year of fashion altogether. Big songs in 1977 were Hotel California by the Eagles, Brick House by the Commodores, and Margaritaville by Jimmy Buffett, one of my favorites to this day. And y'all, I'm so embarrassed to admit that for the longest time, I thought he stepped on a Pop-Tart instead of a Pop-Top. I'm so sorry, Jimmy Buffett. I apologize. I finally did figure it out. We had a lot of fun TV shows that debuted in 1977. We had The Love Boat, and that was where there was like this really nice crew with fun-loving people. They were very likable characters. We had the captain and Julie, the cruise director, and Isaac the bartender, and Gopher the purser. Each week had a different guest star or a set of guest stars. That was kind of fun. And actually the guy that played Gopher the purser went on to be elected to the U.S. House of Representatives for Iowa. And he went to Harvard. Who knew? There was also Fantasy Island, where these people got to go to a creepy island and live out their weird fantasies, which always turned into a lesson that their own lives that they had before were better to begin with. Now, on Fantasy Island, we had Ricardo Montalban. He was Mr. Rourke. And we had Hervé Vallesches, who was his assistant tattoo. And this guy always said, "De plane, boss, de plane." I always thought that this show was kind of disturbing. Probably because I was usually babysitting on Friday nights when these two shows came on. And during Fantasy Island, there was always this ad for a movie called Magic with Anthony Hopkins. And it was about a ventriloquist. And there was this very terrifying doll that they would put on the ads while I was watching Fantasy Island and babysitting by myself, and it scared the crap out of me. I usually just had to turn the channel before the end of the show, so I never really knew what happened at the end of Fantasy Island because I had moved on to avoid magic. Another show that debuted in 1977 was Chips, about the California Highway Patrol. Oh my God, y'all, I love this show. I was in love with Larry Wilcox, who played Officer John Baker, because the other guy, Eric Estrada, was, I guess, supposedly more hot, but I just always thought he was kind of too dumb. Now, in 1977, I was in the 7th grade, which is middle school. Blech. In 7th grade, I was into my second year of 4 years of braces on my teeth. Back then, braces were not the almost little invisible ones that they have now that they just glue on the front of your teeth. No, in 1977, we had these large metal bands that went all the way around your tooth. They actually got banged into place over your teeth by something that my orthodontist used to call the thumper. It was very painful. And on every tooth, you had a full piece of metal going around it. Like that scary dude in the James Bond movie in Moonraker. That's what we looked like. And by the way, the fun didn't stop there with my mouth full of metal. Oh no, I was the lucky recipient of not one, but 2 headgears. So the way the headgears worked was that you had a big metal piece that kind of hooked into your braces, and then you had bands. I had 2 of them, one around the back of my neck, and one kind of went over the top of my head that had stretchy things that would pull back all day long. Now, I had to wear these things for 21 hours a day, which means, oh yeah, I had them on at school. And I guess that the plan was just to have braces in middle school and pile on all the humiliation all at once so that by the time you got to high school, nothing could faze you whatsoever if you've lived through 2 headgears. We had some great movies in 1977. The first one was Smokey and the Bandit, which was filmed primarily in Georgia, so we thought it was all cool. We had no idea about Coors beer before this movie existed because it was illegal to sell it east of the Mississippi, so that was a fun educational journey, learning about beer we didn't know about. Smokey and the Bandit had car chases and an awesome theme song, and also Burt Reynolds in a really cool Trans Am. And it also had the wonderful Jackie Gleason as Buford T. Justice.
Nobody makes Sheriff Buford T. Justice look like a possum's Becca.
My hair flew off, Daddy.
I hope your goddamn head was in it. What we're dealing with here is a complete lack of respect for the law.
But my favorite line that Jackie Gleason says as Buford T. Justice,
There's no way that you could come from my loins. Soon as I get home, the first thing I'm gonna do is punch your mama in the mouth.
the best and most important movie of 1977 was released on May 25th, and my life was changed forever. I saw Star Wars 26 times at the movie theater. Because you have to remember, in 1977, there was no such thing as a VCR, so you could play movies at home. So if you wanted to go see a movie multiple times, you had to actually go to the theater. And for some reason, I saved all my movie ticket stubs and put the dates on them to prove how many times I went. I also still have a big box filled with bubblegum trading cards. I'm hoping that they're worth something at this point. Now, sometime that summer, my friend Shannon Moncrief, who was also a big Star Wars fan, and I devised a scheme to go record Star Wars at the movie theater on my Panasonic take-along cassette tape recorder. We snuck it into the theater in a big bag, along with extra cassette tapes and batteries, and we sat on the front row to record the movie on this cassette tape player. My job was to hold the recorder and sort of point the microphone towards the screen and hide it if anybody came in. Now, Shannon's job was to monitor when we were getting close to the end of the cassette tapes, because they only went to 30 minutes, and the movie is actually 2 hours. So we ended up with 4 illegal audio cassette tapes of the movie Star Wars. We were in 7th grade, and we were movie pirates. Of course, after Star Wars came out and I saw the movie a bunch of times, I bought the soundtrack as soon as it was available at Turtle Records. I got the original score by John Williams, I bought it on vinyl, and I also got it on 8-track. 8-track tapes were very popular back in the 70s. The tape, which was really more like a cartridge, it was the size of a small book, and you would push it into the player or deck. Each 8-track tape had 4 programs on it. I learned later that these 4 programs each had 2 stereo tracks, and that's how they got the number 8. My big Christmas gift that year was a Panasonic TNT Dynamite 8-track player.
The Panasonic Dynamite 8 that plays 8-track cartridges. It's a blast. Their terrific colors play on batteries and electricity.
It had this handle on the top that looked like you were setting off dynamite when you pressed it down, like a plunger. But the plunger shuffled the programs between 1 and 4. 8-track players had no fast forward, so I would spend hours in my bedroom pressing that TNT handle, just trying to get back to the main score or the song from the cantina scene. I think that my obsession over Star Wars probably was fueled by my obsession over Mark Hamill. As a 7th grade girl, my crush choice up to that point had been David Cassidy or maybe Sean Cassidy, but they were also everybody else's crush choices. So when Star Wars came out, I was able to be the true movie nerd that I really was, and also have a teenage crush on somebody that the other girls didn't even know existed. So Mark Hamill, if you're listening, my 7th grade self is still very much in love with you. Join me next time when we're going to talk about 1978. Curling irons, beer and rinse shampoo, and J.R. Ewing. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for listening.